You guys are all in there.
12:30.
Yeah, hour and 20 minutes. I'd like to fit lunch in some for supper.
Some kind, Ruth.
Probably you can. Harvard.
No, I'm gonna keep it here.
Right.
Can you use this up here?
I got to the right.
You did.
I'm so computer literate,
Rest with your neighbor over there.
yeah.
Joe lives right on top of it.
I just have my simple iPad here.
Yeah, it worked.
That's supposed to be a 30. Supposed to be a super cheap.
Yeah, which is. Yeah. So you have to-
Yeah.
There's people that go on.
All right, we will call the meeting to order. We don't have any of our department heads here right now, but we will see what we can do without them. Whatever.
Oh, where are they?
We, first on the agenda is changing the date. Instead of Tuesday, December 27th, we'll be moving up to week prior to that, so December 20th. And one of the issues with that. All right, under veteran services, let's just skip to number 4, which is an overnight travel authorization for the director and deputy director to attend the American Legion Midwinter Conference in Albany. Bill Henry, the dollar amount of cost is. We use it in office van.
There's an attachment, but I'm not. 830, 20. But I was gonna confirm that, but I'm not sure if that's one person or two.
Looks like 2, Cheryl.
Those are two to the second room. 2 nights each.
Okay. And breakfast. For those who said- Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Total cost to the county, I'm gonna write down 830, 20.
All right. Any other discussion on that? Get a motion to approve it.
I'm on.
That motion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Number 6 is authorization to sign up for an easy pass. Anyone with any problems with that? Not Supervisor Granger. Motion to approve. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed?
Sam State.
Carried. Moving right along. Officer Granger. No, Andrea is.
Then I have one and I don't use it because I don't.
Yes. There is one.
Only 25 pounds.
Is planning and county.
They send them an email saying you might need. I haven't paid any money yet because I haven't used it. There's not one in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't, I don't throw away them.
Can I ask a question? Easy Pass, we don't have like a county Easy Pass.
No, because ours.
They're signed for each car. Okay.
I think from what I recall, is that. You can put up a board and hold something piece. But.
Then you gotta move the little thing around.
around.
Just curious.
Hello, how are you? On the agenda. First thing is your statistics for the month. You want me to do that?
Done right.
Everything is included on this today. Anyone with any questions? I guess I was just, your home delivered meals still seem to be increasing.
Yeah, so, our total served to date is 459, and that's up 17 last month. Which. Three keeps me.
Okay.
But there's 17 from last month, and then our wait list has gone down a little for the age students. There's 19 on our wait list right now, and last month we did 23.
Any other questions regarding the office? We have appointments to the advisory council. Agency reps as well as town reps.
Yeah, this is the Office for the Aging Advisory Council. It's like a governing body. So other than workforce, so. They want us to have agency reps as well as a rep from each township.
I think the ones from the agencies are very appropriate. I don't know if Supervisor Davis or Roberts has any issues with their background. No. Can I get a motion to approve the appointments? Supervisor Roberts. There's no further discussion, all in favor?
Right.
All opposed? Number 3, we would like to amend resolution 21-3-530.
It's just housekeeping.
Can I get a motion on that? Supervisor Davis. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And 3 professional services contracts. The first is with Oyster for respite services to caregivers for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2025. Second is Community Care of Western New York, in-home services. That is for 2023. And then lastly, is the Center for Elder Law and Justice for legal services to residents. And that is also for the next year. Any real changes to any of those?
No, the Cloisters stayed the same. Center for Elder Law and Justice is the same amount as well. Community Care of New York, they proposed negotiating our our rates.
There's so you're okay, keep going.
So they propose new rates that are higher, we used to pay the Medicaid rate, and they proposed higher ones based on October 1st, there was a home care requirement that home care agencies had to pay their aides $2 more an hour. So that came into play along with, they have some retention plans. So they proposed, of course, I didn't bring the numbers because that would have been convenient, but it's like $34 an hour for PCA 1 and PCA 2 and some change, which is 12% higher than we're currently paying.
Is your budget in line with that?
Yeah, we're gonna have our own aides hired, so we're really gonna rely on community care for our higher level services, like the personal care. And then our aides will have to do a lot of the housekeeping, so but it's in line with what our cost and fringe is, so I wasn't necessarily surprised that they came with this, and I said if it can give us competition with their hospice rates, they pay more for their hospice clients. And if that puts us in competition with them, maybe we won't lose so many aides to hospice. So.
Any questions? Concerns? Not can I get the motion, for 4, 5, and 6 under that?
I'll move that.
Supervisor Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 7 is the 19 salary schedule D.
Yep, that's all grant funded and under that. Alzheimer's disease caregiver support initiative grant.
And then actually, let's even look also at number 8, amending schedule G. 2 stipends for the grant. For the deputy director and for the fiscal officer. Paperwork and finances.
And those are no increase, they're just the same.
That's right. Well, and then I wish it's correct, right? Any questions regarding either 2 of those changes?
I just a question, Janice, in light of the conversation we had earlier today,
But
what are we doing? I mean,
with Schedule G,
I'm not opposed to the resolution, it's just that it is. Is there a way to follow this now, or?
so the Schedule G position here, being that it's paid for by the grant. Typically. And it's rightly so, because if the Alzheimer's grant goes away, the position would go. Same thing with the stipends. Stipends don't count towards anything, you know, like approved anything, but
In the stipend, then, your comment that, you know, 40 could be 43% benefit package, or it could be 48, or is that,
when they do their Alzheimer's claim,
yes.
they don't do actuals either.
Spend an hour talking. about
Yeah.
it.
No, they don't. But the only thing, if you were looking at this saying, let's make it be like something else, is they would have put the amount in the grant for the 2.5% COLA, where everybody else has been awarded a 2.5% COLA. But, and this is your call, so I mean, if you want to give them the 2.5% COLA now and make a decision for something else, that's fine. Because it's a separate salary side. Not only that, with these schedules, we don't do anything automatically for them. These are strictly the departments because they are grant funded, so we can't change anything because we don't know what they've got in grant, okay? So we don't automatically do the 2.5%, we don't automatically do anything.
I'm not opposed to it, just that we just spent an hour on another situation that involved grant funding. And I just want to make sure we're all clear, we're all on the same
I
page.
feel like we are all on the same page, and it works well if you follow.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, it's caught a couple people's eyes here, you know.
Yeah.
Put it back. No reflection on your test at all.
Well, the salary schedule, G, we looked at it, there's a notes column, and up to that, right, the notes column, everybody that has got something down, it's written in those notes. This position follow salary schedule. No problem. Any other questions regarding these two proposed changes? Now, can I get a motion to approve? Salary change, schedule change. Supervisor Roberts. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 9 is amending resolution 2014 as subsequently amended 21007.
But just I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think that is a typo, I think it's just 21-007.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And authorizing the chairman to sign the amended revenue contract for reimbursement for meals.
Yep, so we work with, we are Integrated Care Collaborative, and they work with health insurance companies like Independent Health and MVP, who offer home delivered meals when someone leaves the hospital setting under certain plans. So they contract with us to deliver the meals, and we get paid for that service. We get maybe a dozen of them a year right now. The number keeps increasing. And some of them end up coming on as a client, and then we pick them up long term, and some of them don't. They just do the temporary, it's usually about 2 weeks of meals. So.
Any questions? Or attempts on that? If not, can I get a motion to approve? Patrick. Supervisor Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Interdepartmental contract with the sheriff's department for everything else for the home delivery meals and congregate meal sites. $7 per meal effective January 1st.
So this was just on home delivery congregate meals, and when we were budgeting, we had spoken with Buzz about, the cost of everything, and so that's kind of what he thought he could keep it under. Or at, and it's 30 cents per client per day just for the packaging. Just, the cost of the meal along with drivers and mileage, and so he's doing his best, though, we're working with him, but that's where we're looking at.
Mhm.
Any questions on that?
I'll just make a comment. My mother's been receiving them for the last 3 to 4 months. And I've been there. I just can't believe how great a program it is. And meals are hot.
Mhm.
I mean, hot to where you don't want to jump right in and eat it.
You're not supposed to be eating.
Because she stood up and said, "Oh, that's hot." It just,
I need.
yeah, I mean. Very impressive. And $7 is.
This day and age.
Where you gonna go, you can't go to McDonald's and get a hamburger, french fries, and like $7.
And it's delivered. And they come in and they talk with her,
All right,
the people that stop are just phenomenal.
can't put a price on it.
And then. She can still cook, but it's the fact that them stopping in, they ask, to take your bills and they visit with her. It's more of somebody stopping in every day, such a man down here, I can't stop it. So it's great.
So, Tess, how's this being paid for? Is there a grant, is there government funding, state or federal funding? Or is it picked up by the county? Is there any part of it picked up by the county?
Yeah, so there is part of it.
I probably do what I forgot.
So we do get federal and state grants for our meal program, so there's a whole list of them that we can charge off to. And in some of them, there is a 10% match on the county level. Our meal program is really large, it's probably the largest part of our budget, and so there's definitely a lot of county help in that. If you ever wanted specific numbers, I can definitely pull them for you over what it looks like. But we use up our grants. Our fiscal officer is Paula Beckstrand, and her vouchering to get grants spent out appropriately and use up every state and fiscal dollar or state and federal dollar we get. She does a great job at that, so we use up everything they give us.
Money goes back.
Well, the $700, depending on how many meals every month you get. There's I don't want to say it's an ask, but it's a mention of donation back. Yeah.
Voluntary.
Voluntary.
Thank you.
We have a lot of-
Yep, so because of the grants have all these standards that we have to follow, and voluntary contributions is one of them. So we are assigned the duty of letting our clients know what the cost of the meals are, what the suggested contribution is, and they can contribute if they wish to or not. It's up to them. We do get fairly good contributions through our meal program. I think last year it was like almost $100,000 in the year that we get contributed back. So that's just something that helps us put it back into the program so we can serve more and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Travel,
Oh, yeah.
people are prepared. Good deal.
And the drivers really are kind of like the unsung heroes in this whole program. We function on our level, our case managers go out, get people assessed, do what we have to do, but our drivers, we have 10 routes. They go out every day, rain or shine. The only time we cancel is if school districts cancel for weather. That's the only time we'll cancel routes, and we try and get emergency meals out sometime in the winter so people have a spare for those days. But when we cancel, we still call all of our clients to do the safety check, make sure they're okay, because if they absolutely need a meal, we can still get them one. And those drivers are really, they are all out there today, so they're really a very special type of person that does that job.
I remember supervisor from before. I think it was right before COVID. We were asked if the supervisors wanted to participate in like a ride
Right along.
on routes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden. Can't do it. Yes, sometime next year.
Really anytime that our state office for the aging asks us to do that for March per Meal. We kind of try and highlight the programs and so that's kind of our March ask, but honestly, the invitation is always open. If you ever want to find a group in your township or your township-ish, because they can go all over, you know, let us know what day you want and we'll have the driver meet you and pick you up. Take you down the road. Maybe after the winter, I don't know. That's what Fairweather does for you. I would wait for it to be nicer, but.
Any other questions or comments on the program? If not, can I get a motion to approve the contract with the sheriff's department? Supervisor Davis? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And lastly, this is what we discussed.
Yes.
Okay, it's reassigning the dietitian position.
Yep, so the registered dietitian has been under all those grants that pay for the meals. We have nutrition standards we need to follow, so our menus and our temperatures of meals and the length of meal routes and all of the policies that go into place require a registered dietitian to sign on. So she has to sign off on the menus. She actually creates the menus, make sure we're meeting all of the like nutritional value standards. This position has been with the Office for the Aging far before my time. When I started working at Wafe 9 years ago, it was an 8-hour week that we had to have a dietitian for. And in 2019, they put it to 16 hours a week, which was double what we had her doing. So she was a private contractor, you know, she had just worked with us as our dietitian, came in, did her hours, put them in, we vouchered her out. And when her time went up to 16 hours a week, we, you know, took some time to get there. First we did 12, we worked our way up. And in 2020, in May of 2020, the hospital decided that they were going to hire her on as an employee there. And then we had asked to keep her. So we paid the hospital part of her salary for them to put her on as an employee. And they have redistributed their roles over there, and this dietitian position no longer exists at the hospital. So when that happened, I mean, we always wanted to keep her. That's why we got her when the hospital had her as well. And so when that happened, she had gone from an employee, you couldn't really take her back to a contractor. So this is kind of a position, it's never been an actual part-time position in our office. It was always contracted in. So but we're looking to reassign that from the hospital to our office. And she definitely has 16 hours of work to do. We actually, the state is here for our nutrition evaluation right now, today and yesterday. So she's touring her all around to our programs. So there was, you know, more than the majority of this is budgeted, but there is an expense with the benefit package that we didn't have in our original 2023 budget. So that's kind of what that.
So you're hiring her, or creating a position for 2 days a week.
Yeah, it's 8 hours. It's like, okay, so she is,
I mean, I understand it's full-time position. And you assign the hospital. Isn't filling a draw us at the okay, yeah, there's nothing that says.
No, whereas 4571 is the FTE, that's the indicator there.
Okay,
Is that
Yes.
16 hours? Yeah.
okay.
Equivalent. And so 16 hours a week, calculates out to 1.4 per month.
Yeah.
and she is on par for, I don't know if I'm like giving you too much information or what you really want, but she is on par for the average price for a registered dietitian, if you will. In most of the counties, you're between $50 and $60 an hour for a registered dietitian. So with her package, with her benefit package, it brings them. So Orleans County, but there's without registered dietitian, so that's not really something that we want to risk, because she does review the jail menus too. She's kind of been doing that under our program.
So. What the deposition did be about, the benefits for health insurance. Was. And then. You know, that's it.
Yeah, she does get the health insurance benefit.
She would,
She would.
that would be the cost of the county.
Yeah, so the like number difference between what we had budgeted for her when we were with the hospital and what she would be making with us is $12,000. That's the difference.
She's still working at the hospital. All
She'll have to contribute towards some of that because she's not full time. From right in the.
Any other questions?
Our.
Aren't very many, especially not out here.
Over the years. Difficult time. I've got a contract.
When we had a conversation with her over contracting, because at first I thought we could do that. And then I learned that that's not an option, but when we had a conversation, what she was asking for under a contract without being a part-time official employee, and what she is earning under this, her being an employee is actually less than what she had asked. We would have had to bid it out and all that, but you know, that's just something.
Gotta have it.
We do, and I really can't cover that job. There's a lot of positions I can cover in our office, and this just isn't one that I can, so.
I'm sure that in order to access the state and federal funding, you have to have a dietitian approved menu.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought about.
Any other questions, comments?
This is an emergency done by the chairwoman, so it doesn't really have to go through this committee then.
Yes, it does. That's a stopgap, because they needed her to start on the 21st. So the chairwoman has the authority to fill that gap. Now you've got a formal approval.
All right, can we get a motion on signing the dietitian position? Supervisor Roach. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Anything else on my Charter Youth Bureau? Program updates, statistics. Seventeen waiting for evaluation.
Yeah. That's pretty standard. Takes a little while to get the evaluator in place to pick them up, so that number. It's not necessarily like a long-term number, it's just standard.
FYI, there is purchases from 4imprint USA for the Safe Harbor grant items. And also it comes from the markets.
Yeah, so those are for, they have like a human trafficking grant that they're working with the Department of Social Services on. And so, they do presentations at schools to bring awareness to what human trafficking looks like and what to be ready for. And then they distribute kind of a go bag to police departments and schools and Hillside Children's Center, Department of Social Services has some, and so in the past, we were able to get like pre-made go bags. But there was one company that would put them all together, so you could just buy it as a unit from them, and they don't do that anymore, so we're kind of putting them together.
So that's what TOPS is for too, they're gonna save us.
Yeah, it's gonna be like some lunchable, some food to put in the go bags. And it's all grant.
Alright. Number 14, professional services contract with Liberty Resource Psychology. For preschool related services.
That's a provider contract, so the youth bureau is early intervention services or all these types of therapy that's offered to you.
Okay.
So
And then we also have a professional services contract with the YMCA here in Warsaw for youth spirits.
that's moving sports, sorry about that, okay. Yeah, that's a grant, it's a total grant funded that came down to get youth in recreational activities, so a lot of youth bureaus work with their local YMCA's. So it's going to fund youth participation in recreation. Okay.
Can I get a motion in 14 and 15? Supervisor Roberts. All in favor? Here. Yes, number 16 is an appropriation. For preschool transportation.
So the last, I know I came once with the increase in transportation. I don't know, we're really rural and we do have to transport some of these youth to their center-based services. If there's 3 or more children in a vehicle, you have to have an aide assigned to them. And there's all these stipulations that come into play with offering that. And with how rural we are, the providers can really kind of set the rate we have to provide it. And so the transportation costs are just.
Any questions on that? Can I get a motion to approve? Supervisor Granger. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 17 is withdrawn. Number 18 is.
No, we need to withdraw the approval to the contract with duties.
Oh, okay. So there was a existing contract with 80 Sutton Farms. And then it's to discontinue.
Yeah, this is a commodity purchase, not a contract, so that's why they're withdrawing.
Which? All in favor? Opposed? 18 FYI, Aurora Ice Association. Ice Cream, Steve Martin. Good program. Number 19. Grant application and acceptance with CCSI in Rochester for funding. Youth ice skating program. And that's for minimum amount of 5.
Yeah, the STARS program, you guys are, I don't know if you see like our big program guides over the summer that has all the youth activities. This is kind of part of that whole program.
Any questions or comments on that? If not, make a motion to approve it. Supervisor Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Here. else?
I think that's probably. Do you have any update on how long the record? So it just kind of got extended from what it was. So at this point in time, we started over. So we, I don't know, really, at least 2 more weeks, at least. Hold on. Thank you.
You got it.
Yeah. Cheryl, I can't have these from you, Cheryl. You want these from me? There you go. Yeah, give them to me. Thank you all.
Some paper. Wrong.
Hey,
That's the reason for that too. I do not pay paper that's been here since. Boy, I was scared it's getting faded.
do I want?
Just be one of it.
All right, thank you.
Paper for the white paper. By new big paper.
All right, Commissioner Barber.
Hello, everybody.
Morning.
The first on the agenda is overnight travel request.
Yes, my new director and I will be attending.
Can I get a motion to approve that?
Yeah.
Supervisor Ranger, there's no questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Social services program specialist position fill.
Yes, this is to backfill a position in the SNAP unit. Cindy Jones was promoted.
Any questions regarding this? Pretty much part of the course, we have a higher.
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the position? Supervisor Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Professional services contracts. With Allegheny Rehab Associates for mental health evaluations and consulting. Spectrum Human Services for mental health evaluations and management programs, drug and alcohol assessments. And with Communication Services, Inc., doing business as entry.
Yes. We have that person they insured.
And with Planned Parenthood. The restore sexual assault services. For the domestic violence. These are all renewals. Yes. Any questions? And I get a motion to approve the contracts. Supervisor Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Then we have professional services contracts authorization for the state WMS contracts. And that includes with Accord Corporation for residential domestic violence services, chances of changes, or residential domestic violence services, And also the INCA for the same. And with David Davidson, PhD, for psychological and mental health interventions for children with families. In order to assist.
All renewals.
All right. Time to do it. Can I get a motion on number 4?
Come on.
Guys, dates, all in favor?
Aye.
Here. WMS contracts. Our renewals, with no changes. With Robinson and Hackmer Funeral Home, W.S. Davis Funeral Home, Charles Meyer Funeral Home, John W. Martin Funeral Home, Aurora Home, or Aurora Home Care Inc. Center for Disability Rights. Community Care of Western New York, Home Care and Hospice, and Independent Living, Genesee Region.
These are all renewals.
And this contract that we now was contract with Candace Sadowski for child daycare services. Anyone have any questions regarding any of these matters? Not, can I get a motion to approve? Supervisor Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Here. And number 7. We have review appointment, okay?
Yes, please.
Commissioner Barber's term is expired. For the 5-year renewal, October 16th, 2022. Yeah, October 15th, 2027. Any concerns? It's reappointment. It comes with the recommendation of the committee chair. For evaluation.
Why, thank you.
Can I get a motion to do so? Supervisor Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
And you have your monthly stats. Report. Yes.
We're just seeing some slight increases. Summer jobs have ended, so people are coming in to apply for services. I think the biggest jump was probably the heat number, because heat just started. But other than that, it's pretty status quo for this time of year. As far as our foster care, I'm sorry, I skipped one. The applications, of course, have gone up because we have more people coming in. That's the WST 003. And then foster care numbers, did have to take some children in foster care recently. So we're up to 22. Not steady for quite a while, below 20, but things happen. And then, of course, because we took kids in foster care, our CPS reports jumped substantially in October to 68. That also reflects the start of school. They always go up in October. September, they're just getting to know the kids. And then in October, teachers realize there may be trouble at home. So we have one reports.
Any questions regarding any of this business? Anything else?
I have something that needs to be signed. First, this is for Cheryl. I was supposed to get this to you by Friday, but I wasn't. I will stay on the 211 board.
Yeah, Laura was looking to see, because you guys haven't met in quite some time, see if that's still an active board or.
Well, I get contacted by somebody to just go through what we provide.
Can you give me your contact person? Maybe we can-
She only does it once a year. I may still have it, but I will check.
Thank you.
And then last month we requested a procurement card for my director of services. But we did this thing. Around like we would sign, and then I can take it over to the county treasurer.
Thank you. Does anyone have anything they want to ask the commissioner while she's here? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then going way up to the beginning of our agenda.
You have a text message from Tony, it's in code, but I'm gonna read it. It said, you tried calling, are you okay? I'm up with a client. Nothing serious, not work related at all, but still serious. Pizza related, but don't to some, serious to me. Okay. So I'm sure he wouldn't just blow the committee off, but okay, whatever happened. Well,
He's meeting with someone, that's where he should be. Right,
Okay.
You didn't have anything else?
that's what I mean.
You here.
Whatever code means, figure it out later.
And I think we have one request from the commissioner, permission from the committee to close their offices in the afternoon if it's not a stop with their holiday luncheon. They've been doing that, and you do have, I mean, it's right on site,
Yes,
and you do have phone coverage there.
Yes, we do still be on the phones.
So anyone have any objection? Nothing is on the time.
I'm with from Amber.
Back with the veteran services director, he's attached to his, statistics for month of October for Dwyer and his other office. Got a little different format. There's some extra. He would be quite busy. Yes, totals to date, one is compensation for veterans. Then been achieved through the office of $530,000. And amounts paid out for disability, pension, death benefit, and supply expenses. It's 2.7 million. So they've been quite busy there. Don't know what this date in history will be, or we will find out what the veteran is. I know he's talked some about the free haircut program. I think they're doing that like every 6 months.
yeah.
So he can provide us an update next time around. And an update as well on the pavilion. Down at their sites.
It looks like it's all, it's, has anybody been by? Because I've seen it across the bridge. Got a roof and everything on it. Oh, cool. Okay.
You're
Well, I didn't do an invitation.
Just a nice glass of wine for you, right?
What in Rome, Romans do.
that's it.
The
Does anyone have anything else to come before the? We are adjourned. Yes. Sorry.
That. Yeah. Our 30. Yeah.
But here in Oh, I gotta go back. We're on lunch here. Glad they're in my.